few questions. And remember, I know he's a referee, but we are live on the internet, so don't kill him. Check.
That's for the broadcast.
That's for,
That's good.
You need to hold it.
Still need it. Still need
Still
it.
need it.
Okay.
You can hold it.
You still need to hold it.
Okay. Good evening. I'm J.J. Williamson. As Tommy said, I am the, I don't have an official title, but I guess you call it the head referee. I also have, I know two of my partners here. One of them is Grant Williamson over there, and he's like Moose. He's trying to be Mount Olive, you know. He's Monticello. Grant Williamson, he assigns for Monticello, Crystal Springs, Hazelhurst, and of course he goes help me call almost anywhere I need him. M.L. Pittman, he does the this area down here, all the way down to Stone County. Is that right? M.L. I have one other, some others. I have Jackie Hathorn in Laurel, and also have the next one here. I have a gentleman up there. I'm honest with you, I've never met. I've talked on the phone, but I talked to the president up there, and he handles that. But I was at a meeting yesterday in Tylertown, a little football meeting of their coaches and their president and all this. And they had a high school coach in Tylertown talking to that group. They also had the newspaper man there talking, listening, taking down the notes, taking pictures. They had it done right. They had a bad experience in the past, but they are trying to get it together now. And I was impressed. That high school coach and one of his assistants was there, and they talked before I did. And I enjoyed their talk more than I enjoyed doing my own. And I love to talk to people like this about youth sports. We do everything from, I do everything from volleyball to junior college fast pitch. But I enjoy these little fellows more than any of them. We just got through with a coach pick 7-8 state tournament, district and all. That was the most fun that I've had in a while. Grant and Moose over there, Moose Eubanks, Monadol, we did all that together. Youth sports is something. I'm going to encourage you to, if you can, to get your coaches at your high school involved. This coach over there at Tylertown, he's basically their consultant. He was telling them the blocking techniques, tackling, just various things that the ordinary layman don't know. He had his assistant coach that went through some things, and they went through some actual live drills in there in that classroom, showing them what they're talking about. But anyway, I just want to throw that in. I think the more you can do that, the better. And like Tommy said, the more you get publicized, the more someone's going to get interested in it. From a referee standpoint, I know, like Tommy, I get calls about, well, you know, this referee did this and that. First of all, if we have any referee, we're going to try to use high school certified referees. When I mean high school certified, they've been on the line, they've done a clinic, they've done a test, and they're supposed to have a rule book. They're supposed to know a little bit about it. They get that rule book. Same way with our rules, our local league rules, our conference rules. They go. Last year, I think we were pretty successful in giving them some copies of the rules, and I hope we did a better job of informing them. But if you have a situation that is just something that you just can't live with, if it's in Monticello or Crystal Springs, get in touch with Grant. If you can't get Grant, you can call me. If you can't get me, then call Tommy or Lester. They will get in touch with you. But we want to have an open line of communication. We want to give you the best officials that we possibly can. Now, granted, there are some that just want to do it just so they can get that little bit of money. And I don't have much patience with those in any sport. I try to work with those and let them know that that's not what it's all about. There's two rule changes that I want to inform you about. The horse collar. The horse collar, I know, has been called probably every way in the world. But this year, the only way that can be a horse collar is from the back, and they pull them down from the back. If they catch them from the side, front, or excuse me, whatever, it's not a horse collar. Now, do you understand what I'm talking about? It's got to be from the rear. So, to me, that is where you might hurt a kid anyway. Face mask can be any part of that helmet. If they grab the back of it, the top of it, or the side of it, it's still going to be a face mask. There is a incidental, which is 5 yards in high school. There is a flagrant personal foul face mask, which in high school is 15, but in this league it's only 10. The only 15-yard penalty we have is an unsportsmanlike flag. So just remember, if you have a referee that tries to mark off 15 yards for you or anything, personal foul, other than unsportsmanlike, then we need to know about it. That's a rule. You need to call our hand on that. Kicking. If you want to kick in any part of that game, it could be the last quarter or whatever. That's the only time that you have to declare or say, look, Mr. Ref, I'm going to kick. And the reason being that you need to tell that referee is because they've got to line your kids up properly in order for you to do that. You can't just run out there and just do it. You've got, even in high school, we have to line them up and tell them where they can get. Even high school kids, sometimes they'll ask, where can I get? How many on the line? And of course, you can have as few or as many on that line as you want.
Now, free kick now? After a back kick, is what you're talking about?
Yeah, any kick, a kickoff. It's a kickoff.
But you only have to tell them.
But you only have to tell them at the time you're doing it. You
Right.
don't have to declare
You
it
don't do
before
it
the
one
ball
time a
game.
game, you only tell us then. You don't tell us, or you can tell us anytime, but when you don't do it, you need to let us know so we can line your kids up right.
In other words, if you just scored.
If you just scored and you want to, even if you want to try a field goal, an extra point, kick an extra point, which I can't really see you doing that, but if you do, you need to tell us so we can, or we have to move the ball in for you to kick an extra point. If you're going to kick a field goal, we have to hit you with that. So just remember, you can kick at any time. If you have a referee say, look, if you're going to kick, you got to tell me now before we ever start. No, that's not right. One other thing, holding. If you got a sweep going to the right, and you got 2 kids over here, and they won't turn one another loose, I'm going to tell them, turn him loose, he's gone. He's gone. Then you need, I'm not going to throw a flag. On that, I'm going to tell them turn him loose because it has no effect on the outcome of the play. So why muddy the ball game up with flags is unnecessary. Now, blocking in the back, we're going to get those pretty much every time because that's safety. Thing about it, I'm going to tell you, caution these kids that if that ball is 30 yards down the field, don't block them in the back. It accomplishes nothing but brings you touchdown back. Another thing, I believe last year, year before last, ML Grant, correct me if I'm wrong, if you got a ball way down the field and all of a sudden you got somebody coming in there and blindside somebody, I'm talking about take him out, we're going to give them that too. We do it in high school, we're going to do it in this. Because you can hurt a kid. One of the worst injuries I ever saw was in Collins, Mississippi one night years ago. And this young man thought he'd really done something. He had. He had hit a guy from the side, didn't see him coming, wound up breaking his arm. I don't know what all else it did to him.
That's called unnecessary roughness.
Right, that's unnecessary roughness. That's the same as if the ball whistle blown and somebody comes in there and blindsides somebody up there and close the line. But especially if it's off down the field where there's no need in it whatsoever. Holding, if it's point of attack, we call it, we're gonna get it. 2 referees on the field, even with 5, and now there's going to probably be 6 on the high school field. There's going to be some things you're going to miss. I don't care, we're human, we're going to miss. We don't want to, we're not going to if we can help it. We're going to try to call that game the best we can. I know you don't, I don't want flags all over the ground every play, because you're not doing accomplishing much there. But, if it's, another thing, if we come to the line, we're gonna try to help, especially with the younger kids, to get them lined up. A lot of times, I've seen some games where they never did line up right. I'd have to get them back every time. Mouthpiece is another thing. We're not gonna flag a mouthpiece unless a kid just won't put it in and keeps not putting it in. We're gonna tell them, like one high school referee told me, so we're gonna tell them, put your mouthpiece in, put your mouthpiece in, put your mouthpiece in. You know, that sounds like kind of silly in a way, but it's not. We don't want you having to take them to the dentist or orthodontist on Saturday morning or afternoon. So we're gonna make them get the mouthpiece in. Coaches, make sure that they know that they got to do that. Anybody, everybody but the signal caller has to have their mouthpiece in. So the quarterback's there, sir?
Can't be clear.
Huh?
Can't be clear.
And it can't be clear, a good point.
Any color but clear.
Huh?
Any color but clear.
Any color but clear.
Same thing on face shields too.
Face shield,
Gotta be clear.
gotta be clear. Can't be nothing but clear. They can't be tinted or whatever, so, you know, the visors. So make sure you have that properly fit.
Gotta be able to see their eyes.
One other thing is pads. Make sure your kids, and I know you will, but make sure your kids have the proper pads on, because referees have to make sure that, and we're gonna ask you at the beginning of the game, Coach, are your kids properly equipped? We do that in baseball, softball, volleyball, everything. And so we're gonna ask you that. And if you tell us they are, then we expect them to be. If they're not, then we catch it. Then we're gonna bring it to your attention. We would like to have a game, and I have had games where half, we wouldn't even have a penalty. High school game, you know, you get into playoffs, you've got better teams. A lot of times you have very few, or you may not have any. I have had games where there was only a few. One half had none. The second half had about 3 or 4. That is the way we like to do it. We know in this league, you know, some of them gonna get anxious, get excited, they're gonna do something they ought not to. We have to get it. We got, especially the safety. We got to get the safety. Now, most of these kids probably don't know how to chop block, but if they do, we're gonna get that too. And what that means is if one comes high and one comes low at the same time, take them out, we got a flag. That's chop block. Now, you can block below the waist as long as you're in that free blocking zone 3 before. But you got to be in there at the time to snap. You can't come in there from the way out here and do it.
Can't crack back.
Right, can't crack back. So if you got somebody that wants to be aggressive and come in there and take somebody out the wrong way, then we got to get that. That's safety also.
JJ,
Yes,
I had
sir.
a question on the punt game. If you choose to physically punt, the rush comes on the snap, and where will the ball be spotted after the punt?
Well, the punt is going to be spotted wherever it winds up. You know,
Okay, so that 10-yard rule won't be affected on the actual punt.
Not on the punt. On the
Okay.
kickoff is where the 10-yard rule is, what he's asking is, applies more to a kickoff. It's got to go 10 yards, touch the ground, and either be touched by one of the receiving team. Remember?
JJ, correct me if I'm wrong, I think what he's talking about though is, we have a rule that if the punt would have went into the end zone or went on the 3-yard line,
Right.
then it's always brought out to the 10-yard line.
Right,
I think that's what.
right.
he was-
That's a good question. I thought you meant actually kicking the ball.
Well, he is.
I am.
He's saying,
Okay,
if you actually kick it, can he pin a team inside the team?
It's still gonna be, the rule on the punt, if it goes in the end zone, it's gonna come back out. There's a touchback. You can't go any further than the 10, so we're gonna spot it no further in than the 10.
Okay.
If it goes between the 10 and 5, we're gonna start spotting the 10.
So you still wouldn't be able to pin a guy down.
Is that?
Okay.
All right, okay.
Yeah.
Okay, all
Are
right.
you gonna actually